aren't really super straight. I think I'm just going to go with that, and we're going to put it on here real quick, and I'm going to try to bend it to kind of get the action. It might just break off. I put a pretty big fat bead on there. And by the way, welcome to Faulkner Fixes All. Okay, let's get a little bolt for that, and then we'll go from there. Let's see, do I have one here? I got something. It's not great, but it'll work. Okay, this is just a little Schwinn fastener. It'll hold it on while I bend it a little bit. I probably should put a spacer under this, but we can kind of get the idea. Now, hopefully this won't break off. We're asking a lot of this bracket and these little tacks. Let's see if we can get you over here. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to try to just bend this down without breaking the tacks. It's way off, obviously. It needs to be down by where the front wheel would be. So we're asking a lot. So we're just going to bend these down. Maybe I'll just do one at a time, maybe. That one's not bad. Yeah. That's not bad. We can work with that one. All right, and that's really going to be like this though. So we might bring it over to the bender. I'm not sure. Let's see what we can do here. That's going a bit far there. Not bad. All right, let's do this one. Oh, just about broke it. Okay. Yeah, that just about broke it. We're going to have to retack that. And I think we're going to retack it on the top here so it won't break. And then we'll get a better spacer underneath here and get this right so I can really put the bend on it. So let's retack it real quick. We might even tack it on the top here. And then we'll find a spacer of some sort. Come on now. Oh, this is kind of hot. Imagine that. I just welded on it and it's hot. There we go. Okay. We'll just leave this on here for a second. All right. Let's go over to the bench and re-weld this right now. Because we can. Yeah, it's way off, but I think what we're going to do is just weld these more secure, then put it back on with a spacer and really bend the daylights out of it. And that way we can actually adjust it. Right now I'm about to break it, so that's no fun. And it was really hard to tack on there. It's not perfect. Far from perfect. That's pretty good for bending. Once we get it bent where we want it, then we'll put the rim fat beads on it. All right, let's find a spacer real quick. All right, we got a spacer. It's crude, but it'll get the job done. And this will not be the spacer we use. This is just to keep it keep it down where it's supposed to be while I adjust it. Okay, little buddy, on you go. And that's too big, darn it. Let's take that off, just for a minute. Put this on, oh yeah, this will work, okay. And that's about where it's gonna be really. Somewhere around there. You know, up and down a 1/4 inch isn't going to be the end of the world. Okay, so now we can get an idea where there's going to be, and I can really put the oomph on these now. With them being welded better on the top, I can really kind of crunch it. And I think what we're going to do is take this wheel off. Put that to the side for a minute. And let's see here. Can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see pretty good, eh? Yeah. All right, so we got to move this one that way. Let's do that first. Yeah, it's just 1/4 inch rod. That was no problem. And this one goes in more. So let's do that. Oh, the old bracket is bending. You don't want the whole bracket to bend. Yeah, that bent the whole bracket. I'm gonna have to hold it with something. Huh. I didn't want the whole bracket to bend. That's kind of hot. We're going to have to redo our spacer a little bit because we want that to be tight on there so we don't bend the bracket instead of the rod, which might happen anyway. Let's see how this works out. Okay. All right, so we're way off. Such is life. Yeah, we're way off. We're gonna fix it though. We can fix it. That's why we put these fat beads on here. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So this one goes in. We know that. Good. Alright, that didn't want to. Huh. That kind of stripped out. Huh. Wow. That's great. Oh, those quality Huffy parts. Alright, so this one's close. It needs to go in like that, like I said earlier. We're kind of going past the point and letting it return. Okay, that one looks good. This one looks pretty good, but it's got to go way far that way. So we're going to go past that point. I think I might even hold that with a pair of vice grips or something. Give me a sec. It's acting kind of funky. The bracket is acting kind of funky. I mean, you know, you're asking a lot of this little bracket that's been modified. Okay, now I can hold the bracket and push this past the point and let it spring back. It's got to go to here. And we're way off. So here we go. It's not an exact science. That's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that's close. See, these will spring in once we weld some washers on there. You want a little spring. You don't want that much though. They'll spring in. They both have to come in more, but the top looks fairly even. I could live with that. Maybe this one a little bit more than the other one. All right, let's keep going. I don't think my tacks are going to break. Those are pretty fat little tacks on there. Okay, let's keep going. The content you need. That's close. Okay, that's about as close as that one's going to get. And this one a little more. Okay, here we go. Whew. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yep. Okay, let's sight down these and see what we're going to do with these washers. Yeah, that looks pretty even. I mean, that's good enough. You know, that's going to be a little more stabilized, better than all that business, and it might be down a little. So I think what we're going to do is take this business off, set this down where it's really going to go, and then measure where the washers are going to be. I could fire up the torch and heat these up and pound them, but no, we're just going to cut them off and weld some big fat washers on them that go in there. And unfortunately, I will not be able to use quick release on that. I could, but I don't trust it. Yeah, so let's take this apart, push this down, and then we got to do some more welding. Because let's take this apart and we'll mark where I think the washer should go. And if we're off a little, that's okay. I mean, we can spring this back up and space it back up where it needs to go. But I'd like them to be close. Ah, yes. I'm talking about frame modifications. Good, good, good. Good vibrations. I didn't see the label for the in-frame cable. Okay, that's about as far as that's going to go down, right? Yeah, we need a spacer that big, obviously, because that's as far as that notch goes. And we want that notch. So we're going to mark this. Oh, let's see. We need a little play, a little room to go up and down. That's the question. With the right spacer, that should be right about there. So let's mark these right here with the washer. We don't want it to be too short. Okay, I think right here. Great, that didn't mark. I thought that one marked. Oh, here we go. You guys watching me? Okay, we got it marked where we want to cut it. And where we want to cut it and put the washers on. All right. So let's do that. I think I'll spare you the nitty-gritty and I'll just put you back on here when I get this ready to kind of bolt up. Now, we don't have an axle for this yet. So temporarily, I might just undo this skewer and just run it through there and just to mock it up until I change that to solid axle. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. It's probably not a safe thing to do for riding, but for mocking up, we're okay. All right, so let's get this off. And we'll go over and chop this. This really doesn't want to come off. I'm thinking about frame modifications. I can't find the label for my in-frame cable. Okay. Yeah, all right, let's snip those off. And then we'll get some 2 washers that are preferably rusty and not galvanized so I don't die. And we'll weld those on there. And it's going to be our homemade truss rod. It's not bad. Once this is cleaned up and maybe mask off these, keep these clear and spray that black or something, that could be nice. All right, let's go over here and chop these off. I will, I'll get back to you when I get these welded on. You don't need to see that. Somebody welding galvanized stuff. You don't need to see that. Okay, I'll get back to you in a second. Beep boop. Okay, I spared you guys the welding and grinding and fiddling. It's not like a show quality kind of thing, you know. We'll probably spray that part black and leave this clear. They bent in pretty well. If you sight down here, it's a little uneven, but I think once the wheel's in, this will kick in correctly. Let's just put the wheel in real quick. Even if we have to use a wheel that's not ready to go, like just a wheel with a through bolt, maybe a regular rim that has the, if I have one handy, let's see if I do. I got an S7 here. I got an S7 front. Let's throw this S7 Schwinn wheel on. It's got washers, and it's, you know, it's not the right one because this doesn't have the tire on it, but it has the through bolts. And let's put it on and tighten it up and see just how it's going to look. I know it's the wrong size. It's an S7, but it has the axle that we need. Bear with me. Okay. All right, let's put this S7 on. It's wrong, I know. It's dusty. It's been on the rack. It's for another bike completely. We just want to see if our truss rods that we just made are going to be okay. I have a feeling they're a little bit off, but I don't think it's going to be super noticeable. You know, we're talking a modified Huffy here, folks. Okay, let's put the truss rod on. Oh yeah, look at that, huh? Bob's your uncle. I'm talking about frame modifications. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to be great. I think it'll go on though. Where we're bringing this bike, it's going to be fine. Let's tighten up this side first. It seems to be wanting to go in there correctly. Okay. Let's take this screw out of the way. Just going to break off again. All right. We're doing good. Good, good, good. Good vibrations. I'm talking about frame modifications. I'd probably put some double washers on there, you know. And this is the wrong rim, obviously. This is an S7. But, yeah. Let's sight down that and see, see what's going on here. Yeah. Heck yeah. You just get the bike to sit right. Yeah, I'll take that to the bank. It's a little wonky on this side. Not bad though. I might be able to bend that out a little bit that way. Yeah, let's try to bend it out a little bit. Now that it's secure in there, I can crunch it out. Maybe we can just kind of torque it a little bit. Let's see how we do. It's not an exact science. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not super even, but for we're bringing this bike, you know, where we're riding this, where we're going with this, I think we can deal with that. It is a truss rod. I think I'll machine a nicer spacer for that and use this cap. And let's see if the brake adjuster screw will fit in there. Let's go get one. Yeah. If I can find one real quick. Yeah, here's a crappy one. We'll just put that in there, just to get an idea what's going on. Hope I did this right. Man, I hope this is correct. You know, there's no going back now. If this doesn't line up to the mountain brake bike parts. Oh, it goes in. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it'll be okay. The cable will go through there. Yeah, it's tight. It'll go through, though. Yeah, you only get one shot at this. Man, I almost blew it. Maybe I can take the P grinder and grind in there. I think that's going to clear. I think we're all right. I could egg that hole out a little bit. Yeah, I think we're all right. The cable's going to go down and connect to these pieces that aren't on yet. Yeah, I think I can probably bend this tab down a little too. Yeah, see how it's kicked off that way? I'll just take a pair of ice grips and bend it down. In fact, we'll do that right now. What do you say, huh? Let's finish this off. I'm getting tired of this project. Well, I'm not tired of it. I've had some other bikes to deal with, and this has been on the back burner a few times. And I just wanted to be like, hey, we're going to go test it out, you know? And it's pretty close now. I mean, a chain and some other little doodads. Oh, yeah, we got this now. Oh, yeah. That's good. We'll clear. Everything will clear. The cable will clear. The housing will go through there. It'll come up to the handle. Yeah, it's going to be sweet, folks. And obviously, I'm not going to put the front brake cable through the frame. Yeah, let's drill a hole here and loop it down around like one of those stunt bikes. No, let's not. Okay, we're good. So it's coming along, folks. I think that's as far as we're going to get today. We did successfully make a truss rod front end for a Huffy Vibrations with the Ross mountain bike fork and the brake cable in the frame action going through to here. We did pretty good. Man, we're almost there. I think I could go get a chain and find some bars, and man, we're gonna be riding this baby. I'd say we're 90%. Yeah, it's a little dusty from being in the wood shop. Okay, hey, Faulkner Fixes All. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. You know, thinking about becoming a paid subscriber, it helps out with the channel. And the next one, I promise, will either have, well, I can't really promise. I jump around so much. I think we're gonna wrap this bike with the blue tape. But I've been thinking about this. I might take the bars off of this one because I'm gonna sell this one. It's way too small for me. I'm thinking about switching these bars. I like these Randonneur bars better. They're a little more comfy. Switching these bars over to the blue Varsity and wrapping these with the blue tape, and then taking these bars and switching them on the copper tone Varsity, and then wrapping those and then selling that as a, you know, more of a stock bike because these are the correct bend and I'll have the right levers. I don't think I'm going to cough up the copper tone grip tape though. I'm just going to wrap them with some black and probably sell the bike. I'm probably going to take this seat off too. They're hard to find, and it is a Schwinn seat. I'll probably switch seats on the blue bike too. This is a Schwinn seat, and they're getting hard to find in decent shape. And I'll switch that other seat out. Anyway, have a great day, and remember, just go out to your shop and work on your stuff. You know, work on your junk. And if you don't have any junk, I'll send you some. All right, don't feed the negative. Get out in that shop and do stuff. You saw how easy that was. It only took me a few hours.